Every time they explode, I would just stand back and take them out at the door. It's like watching popcorn go pa-cow. Just mop up the infection flood as they come through. Don't let them eat you. It would suck to get this far only to be killed by an infection flood. All the other Spartans would be laughing at you.
Unworthy of my blades.
Go ahead and pick up another plasma rifle. Ooh, pretty. Head on through. The only real opposition you have left before the drive is a massive group of infection flood. I don't know about you, but my first time through here was not pretty. Again, just kind of stand back and mop them up with the plasma rifles. Alright, now let's do some driving.
Go, go, go!
Ooh, that sky is looking pretty ominous. You know what that means? It's time to hightail it off of Halo. Again. Now you're just going to get in the Warthog. You could go that way if you wanted to use a Mongoose, but we're not going to. So just follow this path. You want to avoid any sentinels if you can, because the Warthog flips very easily, and also avoid ramps. Now watch what I do to avoid all the falling tiles. Okay, when you get to these little segments, try to avoid running over the flood, because even in the infection flood can flip your Warthog. And definitely avoid the carriers because they explode. Okay, again, avoid the ramps because you never know if there's just a pit of death waiting for you underneath. As there was right there. We just narrowly missed it. Avoid the beams. You know, it's too bad running over the flood doesn't recharge your shields. I think that counts as a melee. Alright, time to speed things up a little bit. Woo! Alright, try to avoid the carriers as best you can. There are also a couple of combat brutes with brute shots. Try to avoid them too. Oh, not pretty. Almost flipped there, but that's why you want to avoid the carriers. And the sentinel beams can flip you too. Okay, now if you flip, don't panic. Just flip it back over real quick. Jump right in. Don't worry about Arbiter. He'll magically appear in the gunner seat. Okay, this route will allow you to avoid some of the sentinels.
Charging sequence at 30%.
There's some fancy driving. And by the way, yeah, some ramps you can't avoid, but watch the ramps that I do take. These are the ones that you can actually use. Ooh, flipped again. Again, don't panic, just flip it back over, hop in the seat, and keep driving. Okay, you'll mainly be dealing with ranged flood here, but because you're in your Warthog, they really can't hurt you.
50%, Chief.
So don't worry about it. Just keep on driving. Almost flipped again. You have a little bit of leeway time, but you don't want to wait too long simply because the platforms behind you are collapsing. Even though you don't have a time limit like you did in the first game, since the platforms are falling behind you, you actually are kind of more on a time restraint here than you were in Halo 1. Oh, and there go my shields.
70%.
A lot of the flood here have fuel rod cannons, so avoid the center if you can. Just keep on driving. Wow, that was cool to watch. See our ship in the distance? Oh, we can't go that way. There's a lot of orange in this level. Okay, this is really the part where you want to try to avoid the ramps because the tiles behind them will be exploding. And when you've gotten this far into the level, falling to your death is not fun.
Firing sequence initiated.
Okay, the ship is just in view. You're almost there. Little advice. Don't jump out of the Warthog. Just saying. Alright, punch it.
Got it, Chief.
And congratulations, you have just completed Mythic difficulty.